This is getting borderline ridiculous. I feel like every other day I am making a video talking about how thin the Oppo Find N5, the sister device to the OnePlus Open, actually is, and we have more photos to look at again today. But I also kind of want to put a slightly different spin on this conversation as well, because as I've been making these videos, there are some particular comments that are beginning to arise, and I think I can kind of answer them, add to this conversation. But first, let's kind of go through this for anybody that has somehow missed out. Let's go to the claim first. This is a product manager for Oppo posting on Weibo, the world's thinnest folding flagship. So there's your claim. This is going to be the world's thinnest folding flagship device. And of course, along with that post, they shared this image. And I jokingly said, how wide is this pencil? Are pencil standard? Is this a standard pencil? There's no way to know. We need more to go on than just this. Well, he was then kind enough to post on Weibo once again this handy dandy video where he compares the Oppo Find N5 covered up by a sheet of paper to several different sort of more common items like some ID cards and things like this. But this is sort of a lower quality, internet video. You can't really see a whole heck of a lot from this. And that's what brings us to today's video, where we have another post from an individual, the product manager for Oppo, whose name will go unbesmirched by my mispronunciation. You see it on screen here, where they said, thinness is not the limit of the Find N5, but the limit of the charging port. Now, this is being translated from Chinese and is therefore slightly awkwardly worded, but the general idea here is that it seems to me like he's saying the thinness of the Oppo Find N5 is sort of being constrained by the USB-C port, and alongside that, we have some fresh images. So this is that same test with ID cards. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe 4 ID cards there stacked up against this device, and oh my lord, is it incredibly thin. You can see that USB-C port down there, and like I was saying, it can't really get much thinner unless they start working around that USB-C port. You'd have to have an area here around the port that gets wider as the rest of the device gets thinner. It would be very, very strange. It's like we've butted up against that limit. We have another image, though, of it up against a couple of coins. Now, I don't know what these coins are in particular. You can kind of make out a little bit of text there. I'm not going to dig in deeply to that. They're coins, and it's about as thick as 2 of these coins. But this image in particular, I think, is where things start to get absolutely fascinating. This is an iPhone 16, presumably, and if you look at this thing, it is about half the thickness of this iPhone 16, a little bit less than half, actually, if you're really looking at it, because you would assume that USB-C port is probably centered, and it's not quite up to the halfway point on that USB-C port. That is absolutely absurd, and there is but one more image, both of them side by side like this, and you can really tell here that it seems like it's about half the thickness of this iPhone. Now, like I said, they claimed it was going to be the world's thinnest folding flagship. Right now, the Honor Magic V3, measuring in at 4.35 millimeters, does sort of still hold that crown, 4.35 millimeters when it is open. But if we look at this stuff, a standard USB-C port is usually, it's a little less than 3 millimeters. Not usually, it is. It's less than 3 millimeters thick. And it appears to be barely thicker than a USB-C port. This is Surface Duo level stuff. It's actually beyond Surface Duo. Duo was 4.8 millimeters. This will be thinner than Surface Duo, which you should be looking at on screen right now. That is absolutely insane. But another little bit of information we can kind of glean from this is that if this is an iPhone 16 Pro Max, you're looking at about 8.3 millimeters. In the article, I think I wrote 8.25 millimeters. I think I saw that from another source. Regardless, 8.25, 8.3, it's all really about the same. And this device appears to be about half as thick as that device. If you take that number and you have it, you're somewhere around 4.1 millimeters, which would confirm the claim of it being the world's thinnest folding flagship. Okay, so that kind of lays out the what. What are we talking about? The world's thinnest folding flagship. What might that actually look like? But it doesn't really answer the question of why. And I'm seeing more and more people sort of cropping up and saying, what's the point of this? Why does a phone need to be this thin? And there's a couple of ways to attack this. So first off, we are talking about a folding phone, right? So this is a phone that, yes, when it's open, it is remarkably, remarkably thin. I'll just pull this picture back up so you can look at that beautiful thing instead of my face. But that also means when it's closed, it's going to round about double up in thickness. So once it's closed, it'll be about as thick as an iPhone, which is a pretty normal slab style phone. So if you think about it like that, we're talking about a device that when it's in phone mode will feel like a normal phone. So why attack it this hard? Why go for this level of thinness? I think that's going to be your answer there. Also, weight reduction as well. These devices are heavy. There's a hinge in there. So yeah, making it feel like a normal phone when it's in phone mode, I think is still somewhat important. But let's be honest, guys, there's also just the wow factor. The hype around doing something like this is just fun and it generates buzz for your device. It shows off what your company is capable of doing. It is impressive. And look, I would totally agree with people saying, look, don't people care about other things more? Don't they care about a bigger battery? Don't they care about a better camera setup? Don't they care about a better system on a chip? And I would say absolutely they do. If you had people rank order what they care most about with their next phone, incredible radical thinness is probably not going to be number one for almost anybody. But you have to keep something in mind with this device. Based on everything that we know, it's going to do those things too. It's not as though Oppo has said, we're going to forego improving the camera, improving the size of the battery, improving the system on a chip just to make it thinner. All the rumors say the battery is going to be approaching the mid 5,000 milliamp hour territory. All the rumors say that the camera system has been fully reworked. I mean, they're doing, of course, Snapdragon 8 Elite as well. They're doing all of those things. So once all those boxes are ticked, if they then want to turn around and say, can we make the phone be about as thick as 2 coins stacked up just to blow people's minds, just to make this thing look incredible? I say sure, go for it. If you've done all the things you're supposed to do, if you've stuck to your workout routine for, an entire week or 2 weeks or a month or whatever it might be, treat yourself a little bit, have a little bit of fun, do something extra to enjoy yourself, have that piece of cake because life is too short. And that's what it seems like they're doing to me. They're doing everything. So why not do the fun thing as well? So for those of you that are sitting back and looking at this and going, why are people so excited about this? Isn't this not the most important thing? You're absolutely right. It's not, but they're doing the most important things too. And for people like me who, I will just tell you, enjoys staying nerdy, looking at a phone that is half as thick as a normal phone while having a huge battery and insane specs is fun. This is fun. It's meant to be fun. If you don't find it fun, I'm sorry. This is probably not the channel for you because this is what we do here. Good news is, guys, they have said, see you in February. So we should be seeing this device in February. This is, we're in the latter chunk of January right now at time of recording. So we should be seeing this device unveiled relatively soon. So the speculation will end and we will just be able to type in our credit card information and purchase the thing. As always, I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. Do go check out ShaneCraig.tech, where I will often post write-ups like this that will appear before the video will be created. I actually typed this up and posted it last night in bed before going to sleep. Made the video the next morning, so it's definitely a place that is worth checking out if you're interested in something like that, guys. Subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.